I'm late.
No, you got here right on time.
No, I'm late.
It's the Late Show.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're too late.
The wizard is never late.
Can I help you? Yeah, I want to see the show.
But not to come late.
You are late.
You're late, man. Always late, huh?
The hour grows late.
But is he already too late to save his friends?
You're late. I'm not paying for this.
You're too late.
And I'm like, dude, yeah, fine. Let's call it that. I would say yes, it lives up to the hype. What little hype I had for it was pretty damn good. And we were talking about the character's name. His name's Adonis Creed, and he goes by Donnie. And you're just like, shut the fuck up, Donnie. And you're like, oh, you haven't seen Big Lebowski. And I'm like... by that point, I'd seen Big Lebowski for this, and I'm like, well, shit, we just talked about that. So That's bound to happen so many more times.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to reference one, go, you haven't fucking seen that, and then we're going to watch that movie like the next week.
The reason this works in conversation is because we'll have the conversation, reference something, oh, you haven't seen that, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
We're not revisiting a conversation
That's
3
true.
weeks later,
That's
typically.
very true. Oh, shit.
You're going to
party
spill
foul.
something on my useless box over there.
Cheers.
Anyway,
Yeah.
cheers.
Thanks.
Shotgun mics. God damn it. That's actually probably the biggest reason why the audio doesn't sound horrible.
Is because it's like, oh, it's just the directed.
All right, so you had a point you wanted to make that would segue.
Oh, I
into
just
a good
did.
podcast.
It was the thing
Oh.
about talking about Creed,
Oh.
and then we ended up talking some more.
Honestly, as you were talking about it, and you mentioned Big Lebowski, I still forgot that that's what the one we were talking about today.
Yes, and
With a
on
White
the-
Russian right next to me.
with the White Russian, and on that point, what movie were we talking about today, Jake?
We're talking about the Small Jazowski.
Shit.
Big Lebowski.
Cut. Try again.
Yeah, the Coen Brothers somethingeth movie. I don't know how many they had
One of
done
them.
before this one, but it's
don't
probably
know.
their
They're not
one of their
Tarantino. They
biggest
don't number it.
This has got, I mean, would you say this is probably their biggest movie, their most popular movie?
This or Fargo, or No Country for Old Men though. That's
Well,
pretty
even
big.
aside from that, I was thinking, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, brother, where art thou? I don't know. I can't. For me, and we're already off to the races here. For me, Fargo is probably still my favorite Coen movie. But this is a damn good movie, and I think we can segue perfectly into what was that first one? Impressions.
Impressions.
Yeah. This is another one of those ones where it's just like I just didn't fucking see it. I wanted to, I just never did. And after watching, I'm like, how the fuck have I not seen this movie by this point? It's so fucking good.
I hadn't seen it for like 25 years, or I didn't see it until
How
like
old are
it
you?
was already 25 years old.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like
The
you're
movie,
like,
not me.
you're what? Nick's age? You're 26.
What the
25?
fuck? Do you know how old Nick
No,
is?
I don't
He's your brother.
I'll
I'll be 24 in April.
What part of? I've barely gotten any sleep over the last 3 days.
No excuse. How old are you? Do you know that?
27. Like,
All
as
right.
of 2 weeks ago.
We gotta get right in that feature then.
Yeah. I know. Thanks for a reminder on that one.
Put you on blast on the podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll just cut all this out.
No, we won't. I'll edit this one.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Now we're already arguing over who's editing.
This is another one of those podcast movies where I've seen it and John hasn't.
Yep, that's
So
yeah.
so
Self-proclaimed movie guy. Hasn't seen a lot of these fucking movies.
a lot of the classics, but that's why we're doing the podcast.
Yup.
So why have you not seen this movie?
Just didn't.
Just didn't.
I kept hearing it, and again, I love the Coen Brothers. I love Fargo. And I'm like, I need to watch The Big Lebowski. And just didn't. I'd be bored, have nothing to do, like, for an entire day, just scrolling through Netflix. I'm like, there's nothing to do. Could have watched it then. Didn't do it.
The only thing I had known before I saw Big Lebowski, the only thing I had known Jeff Bridges for was fucking Tron Legacy.
I was going to say Tron.
Oh no, you know what? And Seabiscuit. I forgot he was in that.
I didn't see that one. And I haven't seen Tron Legacy.
Oh,
I've seen Tron.
I haven't seen the Tron.
The Tron.
God damn, I did that in another podcast I was editing. I think I heard myself say like, I called Elf, the Elf movie.
Anyway, I haven't. Okay, what made me want to watch Big Lebowski was Jeff Bridges went on an episode of Conan,
Okay.
and Conan brought up the Big Lebowski, and I had heard about the movie at that point, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then they brought up a picture of him like slung back in the back of the limo with his White Russian in his hand.
Yeah.
I think it's after he gets thrown into the back of the car.
Yeah.
'Cause,
When the other Lebowski, like he just got out of his cab and then like immediately he's ushered and thrown into the
the Big Lebowski's limo.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering, the Big Lebowski is not Jeff Bridges.
No.
Jeff Bridges is the dude, and the fat old guy cripple is the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. But so anyway, so the picture on Conan.
Yeah, and they were just talking about how most of the dude's wardrobe was actually just out of Jeff Bridges' closet. I was like, all right, this seems like an interesting movie enough. So, yeah, I think I watched it on some stupid network that doesn't even exist anymore. It was like the Real Network, but like REEL.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Actually, I do remember that network.
Managed to not edit it. But, yeah, that was how I first saw it, but that was like maybe 2011. It was late.
Yeah.
It was late to the show.
I mean, first time I saw it was 2019, so, there's that.
Since then, I've gotten fucking similar to the dude's sweaters. I've wanted to get the dude's pants. I've started making White Russians. I have the movie on Blu-ray in the metallic case.
Nice.
So obviously, I fucking like this movie.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great, and I want to. Excuse me, it's fucking great, and I want to watch it again. Definitely. Mm-hmm. It's just like again, I'm amazed that I had not seen it up until this point. It's really funny. It's got the Coen Brothers' fantastic style and writing behind all of it, and
Most of that movie, or I shouldn't even say most. There's like no improv in that whole movie.
that honestly doesn't surprise me.
It's scripted almost down to every last fuck and man. Like all that's in the script.
Yeah, I do not doubt it.
So let's see. You liked the movie.
Yep.
Was there any part of you what kind of thoughts about the movie did you have going into it? I mean, you've obviously heard all these references. Did you think that was going to spoil it for you?
No, I've heard the lines again, as I mentioned earlier, you said the "shut the fuck up, Donnie" part, and I was just like, didn't know what that was. I heard "fuck a stranger in the ass,"
or "find a stranger in the Alps" if you've seen it on FX or some stupid
for
shit.
some reason. The dude abides. That's just your opinion, man. Like I've heard all of those, but and I've seen the dream sequence part, the bowling dream sequence. Mm-hmm. Going into it, I'm like, I had no fucking clue what the hell was gonna happen. I knew there was another person named Lebowski and there was some mixed identity, but that was it. And just I started watching it and it was so fucking weird, right off the bat.
Yeah, Kate was a little she was a little I'm not sure if I even like this. Because we just saw it in theaters in the summer. They brought it back to Showplace.
Re-released it, yeah.
Or AMC, whatever.
What the fuck ever.
But yeah, so we rewatched it there, and she'd watched it for the first time, and then we left the movie theater, and I'm not 100% sure she liked it, because it was just weird.
Yeah.
But
well, and I remember thinking,
she did like the dude, though. So
I mean, the dude's
her favorite character.
I mean, they're all great characters. Walter's a great character.
She didn't like Walter. She thought he was annoying. I love
It's
Walter.
kind of the point. Shut the fuck. When are we bowling?
I get you to tow by 3:00
with fucking nail polish. But actually, I think Walter was possibly the best character in the movie. Just it's weird how he was correct about everything for the most part.
Right.
He just knew for some reason. He was like, nah, they don't have her. She kidnapped herself. They're fucking amateurs. Just all of it. But by the end of it, I'm like, what the fuck was even the point? And the more I think about it, it's there's not a fucking point to any of it.
Right.
It's just shit that happened to this guy over the span of a week for some reason.
It's a week in the life
of the dude.
So let's talk about the quality of the movie. I mean, we've obviously talked about the writing, how almost I don't think any of it was improv except for maybe a few like one-off lines or something like that. But I mean, any of like the mannerisms and stuff, that's all scripted, which is kind of insane.
Yeah.
to have mannerisms like that scripted that well, because they're so like out there
specific
characters and specific things. But
yeah, it was just, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like at the same time, again, to me, it makes sense that it's scripted. In fact, for the most part, I personally tend to think things are all scripted until told otherwise. But yeah, just to kind of think, especially with something like that, you'd think they'd be like, just kind of play around with the scene, play around with the lines, whatever.
right.
You know, how you deliver the line, how you like act for the line. Just like there's shit in there that very easily could have been improvised or played around with.
Right. Especially with such strong performers too. You wouldn't think anything of it if they kind of took it and made it their own. Which, not that they didn't, but like they definitely had a fucking path to walk to get to what the Coen Brothers thought they should be doing anyway.
Absolutely.
What's also cool about the movie is that it strings together, not necessarily a musical, but it kind of pulls that like a little bit into it too with the dream sequence. I can't think of the song. I just to see what condition my condition was in. But that sequence, that whole sequence, the fact that they were able to choreograph that whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and also I wonder what parts of that were like green screened and stuff like that too. Obviously, the stack of shoes that went 1,000,000 feet high.
Yeah.
With Saddam Hussein standing there.
The guy who played Saddam Hussein, did you know like most of his credits on IMDb are for playing Saddam Hussein?
I bet he played Saddam Hussein in Seinfeld. Did you see that there?
I don't know. No, I just knew this trivia from like before. Like I knew that
really?
guy, like
He's a Saddam Hussein guy?
yeah, he looks like Saddam Hussein, so he plays Saddam Hussein in movies.
It's got to be a tough life.
Yeah.
Well, after 2006, I bet it got a lot easier.
It's like, all right, well, no, it probably got a lot harder. Where's his fucking paychecks coming from?
What?
If he's not playing Saddam Hussein anymore, now he's out of a job.
I guess, but I'm saying like no one's mistaking him for Saddam Hussein on the street because
Oh,
Saddam
gotcha.
Hussein was hanged.
Gotcha.
Hung? No, hanged.
Hung.
He might have been hung. I don't know.
No, you're correct. Yeah, hanged. Huh. Anyways.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of musicals. I know you loved Hamilton and stuff, but I mean, it's
Wearing my Hamilton shirt right now.
oh, truth that. But it's cool that they were able to like tie that in so well, and it still feels like it
Everything
totally makes sense. Like every part of the movie makes sense, and it's such a weird. Like all the elements of the movie could be weird, but together they all make sense.
Well, and I think that's what's great about like Sam Elliott's character right at the top of the movie narrating. He's like, he doesn't swear. It's a strange tale. And it's like, and he was happy that he was able to witness it, and just like all of it's like, you know, he's like, I'll never see the Queen or any of this stuff, but I can die happy because I, you know, experienced the dude or whatever.
Right.
And it was just like. And I think that's almost needed for this movie because I think without it, it was just. I think the movie
That
would
grounds
still
the
work,
story.
but yeah, it grounds
because it's someone in the story who realizes how insane this whole thing is.
yeah, and somehow has knowledge of all of it, despite the fact that he appeared in the bowling alley twice and that's it. But he like already seemed to know everything about the dude up to that point. Yeah. Just wish you wouldn't cuss so much.
Fuck you talking about, man? Yeah, and then let's see. I mean, cinematography was really cool. I wonder if was this one done by Roger Ebert? Because he did
Roger Ebert.
Am I mixing names up?
Yes, you are. Roger Ebert is the film reviewer.
It's a name similar to that. Cinematographer.
Deakins?
Roger Deakins, that's the one.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Well, let's find.
I know
out.
he did Oh Brother Where Art Thou and a couple other Coen Brother movies, but I can't remember if he did this one.
We should definitely always have fucking IMDb up and ready to go. Let's see. Crew. Cast and crew. Cinematographer. Roger Deakins. Yep.
Okay.
That is who you meant to say.
And Yeah, I mean, you know what? It didn't have like a super like it wasn't super what's the word I'm thinking of? Cinematic. Like it didn't have like that look, to it. Like say something that is super stylized, like Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where it has kind of that sepia tone a little bit.
Yeah,
I actually haven't seen Fargo.
Well, we won't do that next week. It's
Too
I
many Coens in one.
I mean, I'd be okay with it, but because I fucking love Fargo. But
Okay, I've seen the first few episodes of the show. That counts.
same here. The show's kind of again. I haven't watched. I have also watched the first few episodes of the first season before my DVR fucked up and I couldn't watch the rest of it. But it's got the same sort of feel to the show or the movie, but it tells a completely different story. Each season's a different story, and it looks like none of it takes place in Fargo. Same with the movie. Actually, no, the opening scene of the movie takes place in Fargo, and that's it.
But to my point, though, with Roger Deakins doing the cinematography for it, I mean, it didn't, like I say, feel super stylized or anything, and I think that's kind of purposeful for the movie because it's not. Whereas the movie's so out there, I mean, it's kind of just a day in this guy's life, so it doesn't need to be super dramatic the way it's shot or anything like that.
Yeah,
because it's a simple way to shoot it for a simple guy.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty accurate. But I also think like you get some of the scenes of Walter, and the camera does play around a little bit, like the. Am I the only one who gives a shit about the rules scene?
Oh yeah, a couple of those zoom ins.
Yeah,
stuff.
like when he stands up, it gets he's ratcheting up the tension. Camera zooms in quickly on him, and it's just I think like it's almost kind of character dependent. I mean, as most things are when they're filmed, but
I would say that with like the camera movements and stuff. I was thinking more about like the color and the lighting. I would say that's not super dramatic. That's kind of very
that I agree
standard.
with. Yeah,
but yeah, like you can definitely see like the different camera movements and stuff for certain points, like to bring up the tension with Walter.
Yep.
Or the way they played around with the dude when he's flying through the air after he gets punched in the face, and it zooms in on him, and he realizes he has a bowling ball in his hand, and he falls.
I'm trying to remember. I've already forgotten that fucking part.
It's the song that goes ooh la 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 la.
I'm trying to remember which scene. Is it at the end when they're fighting the nihilists?
No. This is towards the beginning. This is right before.
Oh, like right when
Maud.
Right before he meets Maud.
No, it's after he meets Maud. So, okay, so he gets the rug from the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
He brings it home. It's on his floor.
Yep.
When
he gets it is the scene right before he meets Maud, because that's when he gets punched in the face, because then she wants her to go to the doctor.
Right. She takes the rug back because the rug has sentimental value to her.
Yes. But oh yeah, that's another quote that I remember was that really tied the room together. Anyways, but yeah, it's that scene where he gets punched in the face when they come in to take the rug from him.
Right. So like they play around with the camera a lot in that scene, and they would because it's like a kind of psychedelic-y dream sequence type situation too.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. But shit, I thought I had a point, but apparently I don't. So my bad.
So let's talk about. I mean, this movie was made. What was it? 98, I think. It was the late 90s.
I'm backing up. 98. Good call.
Okay, but for whatever reason, it takes place in like 91 or 92. Because, the original Bush is president. And I know Sam Elliott says it takes place in the early 90s. But why would you think the Coen Brothers would write a movie for like less than 10 years prior?
I mean,
there's subtle references to like the political climate, like that Walter makes, like he called like the way we're dealing with this camel fucker out in the Middle East. That's his quote, not mine.
I don't understand.
Okay, but talking about Saddam Hussein, so like it's kind of talking about the war type situation going on, and then there's references to Bush's speech, "This aggression will not stand."
Yeah,
but I mean, socially, do you think there's a big,
It allows Walter to be that age and have also been to Vietnam.
I guess.
But then you've also... Because, I mean, that's kind of an important part of his character.
I know, but I mean, still, it's only within 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, too, I mean, you have completely different political climates 10 years later. It's not even. It's 7 years. 7 years ago from the moment we're recording this was 2012. Shit, man.
Yeah, we all thought we were going to die this winter.
Yeah.
That winter.
But, well, Barack Obama was entering his second term. Mm-hmm. And just think about how totally different the fucking political climate was 7 years ago.
Right.
Versus now, you know, it's just completely different.
Right. So you think that's, I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, why...
it's the
I feel like
difference
that
between-
movie could take place at any time. Because the dude is a character. I mean, it fits in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Just for some of the language and stuff, but...
I just think I think the Coens probably had something they wanted to say about the Bush administration, potentially, and that's what I mean. It's about the only thing I could think of because '98 was Clinton's second term, so I mean that would make sense to why they would bump it back to still being under Bush, but for that sort of a jump, I mean I don't really know. I mean 7 years can make a huge difference in all aspects of society, so...
Right. I just always thought it was kind of weird that, like, for you to... quote, I mean, I wouldn't call it a period piece, but just for them to, like, date it back less than 10 years seemed kind of weird for the whole movie, you know?
Yeah,
and
no.
I mean, it could be also based on when they wrote it. They could have written it
In 91.
before that, so...
That's entirely true. And not had a chance to film it until... You know, get
The
it
late
done.
90s.
Yeah, until the late 90s. So,
But yeah, I was just... that's always been kind of weird to me. I was like, why just that subtle jump? But, so, let's see. I mean, this movie's obviously super popular with, like, college-type guys. I mean, it's...
can't imagine why.
But, like, what am I trying to think of here? Like, well...
I don't know.
something we can talk about here about it.
Yeah,
also.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think too. It's like, as I was actually going into this, I was really excited to talk about the movie, but now we're sitting here and I'm like, I'm struggling for come up with things to talk about beyond
All right.
like just quoting the movie.
Let's not be super scientific about it. Let's just say, like, what part of the movie did you like the best? Is that an easier question?
No,
to ask?
actually, that's a harder question because the whole damn thing was great.
Think of just some parts that, like, I mean, it's a comedy for sure. So, what parts of it made you like laugh out loud?
I would have to say the part when Jackie Treehorn, like, he meets him and like he takes a phone call, and then the dude is just like trying to, like, he's like, okay, that's got to be important information. He goes and like tries to sketch out, and it's like a dude with a giant boner for whatever reason is what's on there. And then later when he gets arrested, the cop pulls that note out.
Funny piece of trivia in since we just did Clerks last week.
Yes.
In Tusk, when Johnny Depp is this detective, he does the same thing at a gas station because the person they're looking for went to this gas station and wrote down a phone number or an address.
Okay.
And so he sketches it out, and Haley Joel Osment goes, "It's from the Big Lebowski." And then he turns to him and says, "Actually, that's where I got it from." This French-Canadian detective stole it from the Big Lebowski.
Nice. Bringing it back around to Kevin Smith.
Thank you, Silent Bob.
Yes.
Let's see what.
I just like it was just really funny. Like going back just to the mannerisms, I think specifically of the dude, like how like exasperated he gets at everything. Mm-hmm. I think there's like everybody else around him is just like it's no big deal, you know, whatever. Even Walter, who like freaks out about the smallest shit, is just like, you know, he's like whatever. I'm gonna stay calm about it. You know, I know what's going on. That's like the only person not in on the joke the entire time is the dude, and it frustrates him, and that brings a lot of comedy to the whole situation.
Well, I mean, he gets introduced as this so like nonchalant, like easygoing guy, and then you just see how the movie wears on him, and how, I mean, he also mentions it. He's like, you know, man, the dude was trying to get greedy, and trying to get some money and it didn't work out, but fuck it, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets kind of wrapped up back into it at that point. But I mean, so you see him like kind of trying to battle with what
his nature.
Yeah. And the situation he's being put in. So I'm trying to think of what my favorite part of the movie could be, though.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to say, while you think about that, I mean, a perfect example of that is when he calls Walter on Saturday. And Walter's on Shabbos. And Walter's like, I'm not supposed to answer the phone unless it's an emergency. Well, it is a fucking emergency, man. I know. That's why I answered the phone. And like Walter refuses to help, and then he's just like, you don't fucking come here, man. I'm off the fucking team. Yeah. Next scene, Walter's there. And it's like, all the dude wants to do is drink White Russians, smoke weed, and bowl. And for him to try and take bowling out of the equation, like, it just shows like how his character is like fucking descending into madness, basically.
Right. But you do always see him like jump back into himself, like when he's hammering down that nail board to keep his door shut.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Walter. He's like, "No, Walter, I don't blame you." Yeah, he's very sensitive, man.
Yeah.
No, you're just an asshole, Walter. Yeah, I'll be at practice. Or no, he says, "Leave me the fuck alone." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'll be at practice." Yes. That was when he beats in Larry's car, and the guy comes out and bashes in the dude's car.
Yeah. See what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass? Do you see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass? And then all the bad karma falls on the dude too. Like,
right.
Walter smashes that guy.
Karma.
Yeah, Walter smashes that guy's car, and the dude's car gets fucking smashed some more.
How'd you feel about the ending of the movie?
Actually, that's one thing I didn't know about going into it, is I knew Steve Buscemi was going to die. Mm-hmm. And so the whole time I'm like, how the fuck is Steve Buscemi going to die? And he just dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
But the funeral is fucking great. Right. Donnie was a good man and a good bowler. He brings up Nam, yeah. Throws his ashes in
like so
face.
Many young men before you. In Saigon.
Why's everything got to come back to Vietnam with you? God damn it, Walter.
Why's everything a fucking travesty with you, man?
I'm sorry, dude.
That's also when Walter finally admits that he's been wrong for most of the movie, too.
Yeah.
But then still can say, fuck it, let's go bowl.
Well, let's go bowling. Just because we're bereaved doesn't mean we're fucking saps.
This is our most modestly priced receptacle.
Love that customer service speak for cheap. Modestly priced.
Is there a Ralph's nearby? Cue Folgers can.
Yeah, like a fucking probably like a $10 can of coffee. Man, poor Donnie just got shit on the entire movie for no reason, and then he dies.
Right. Never hear any backstory on Donnie until the very end. You find out he liked to surf. What?
Yeah.
Who would fucking guess that?
Yeah. Surfed. And he went out on a game where he didn't roll a strike.
Yeah.
He got just a 9 on that one.
Sometimes you come up short.
Yeah. And then
sometimes you eat the bar, and sometimes the bar eats you. See, I'm glad you've seen it now, because there's so many other quotes to the movie that are so applicable.
Yeah. What's really weird to me, though, is the number of times "Shut the fuck up, Donnie" has started popping up in my life. Like, just about the time I watched The Big Lebowski. It's like, suddenly I was starting to hear "Shut the fuck up, Donnie" everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Have you seen that compilation video where it's like Trump giving a speech, and then it just keeps cutting to Walter saying, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie"?
I have not.
Oh, that's good.
I don't doubt.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Doesn't the dude also tell him to shut the fuck up?
He might, but I don't think so.
No, you know what? It's Walter, but he just says it so calm. I thought it was the dude. It's when they're watching that the dude's landlord's one-man show. They're in the theater.
God, that part was so... Okay, so little backstory to when I was watching this movie. It was the day of the that really last week when it was -50 out.
Mm-hmm. We live in Illinois, by the way.
Yes, it was goddamn cold. And my car didn't start that morning. I'm like, all right, fuck it.
I got a flat tire 2 days later.
Yeah, I know.
I know car trouble.
So I'm like, my car didn't start. I'm like, whatever. I'm not going anywhere anyways. So I start watching The Big Lebowski. And then my mom fucking calls. And she's just like, she was asking me about it. And I'm like, I tried it earlier. It didn't really work. And now I'm watching The Big Lebowski. And she's like, well, you should probably soon go out and try it again. Actually, I'd called her earlier. Told her I was going to try it again at about noon. And she called me at about noon. And I'm like, yeah, obviously it didn't start earlier. I was going to try it again a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean like an hour, because I had like an hour left of the movie to go.
Right.
She's like, well, I wouldn't wait an hour. And I'm like, oh, come on, I just want to watch this movie.
Right.
And I start and stop The Big Lebowski so many times trying to watch it. And I completely forgot where I was going with that story.
Well, I mentioned the dude's landlord's one-man show.
Right, thank you. And so by the time that scene came on, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are they at this show? And then like a little while later, I'm like, oh, that was his landlord. That's right. He told him we'd go see that.
I finally got the venue I wanted, so if you could come by and give me notes.
Yeah, man.
What'd you think about the 3 German guys?
The
By the way,
nihilists.
one of them was the bassist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Flea.
you knew that. Okay,
Yeah, I
Flea.
knew Flea was in it. I didn't realize the leader
Peter
was
Stormare.
Yeah, Peter. I didn't realize their leader was Peter Stormare at first, because he was the guy I think floating in the pool
Yeah,
at the beginning.
and the
she's
porn
like,
star.
Yeah, no. As soon as I saw the porn star, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that was Peter Stormare. But no, I thought they were hilarious. Part of that bowling dream sequence, I think my favorite part was the end when they were chasing him with the scissors, with the giant scissors. That was pretty. But then them mugging them at the end, it's like, give us the fucking money, Lebowski. We know you don't have the girl, man. Well, just give us whatever you have on you, and we'll call it even.
Oh, I think my favorite part of the movie might be when they come to his apartment. They crash, like they bust up his voice machine.
Yeah,
For no reason, and then they drop the ferret into his bathtub.
nice marmot, man.
And that's when they threaten to cut off his Johnson.
Yes.
What do you need that for, dude?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah, there's a reason they kept telling him to shut the fuck up. He asks dumb questions.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
I don't need to be consoled, Walter. I need my Johnson. What do you need that for, dude? I also like that he kept calling it his Johnson.
Yeah. God, that movie was so fucking weird.
I guess that plays in earlier to when Maud's talking
mentions
about
it,
how
yeah.
people use
Men are so-
dick, rod.
Johnson.
But they'll shudder when referencing a woman's private parts. For instance, vagina.
He doesn't react at all.
Coitus?
I like, too, that the dude, he is always so calm, but he's also 100% on board to antagonize people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the beginning when they were dunking him, and they're like, when he was giving him, like, dunking him in the toilet. And, like, he's like, no, man, sorry, I didn't quite get that. Could you run that by me one more time? He dunks him in again. Or when the cop says something to him, he's like, nah, man, I wasn't listening. He throws a coffee mug at him. Fucking fascist. It's like, it's so weird that, like, he doesn't care about any of it, but he's 100% on board to piss somebody off, too.
Yeah. The line when he's getting dunked in the toilet, it's, put me back in. I think I found it down there. Because they're asking for the money. He's like,
That's right.
I think it's down there. Let me check one more time.
That's right.
And also the toilet bowl's just full of half and half, which he
Yeah.
already took a drink of at the grocery store. And he wrote a check for 89 cents for half and half. Did you do that, John, when you picked it up and brought it over here?
No. It
You didn't buy it with a
It
check?
was $1.99 when I bought it. So.
Oh, inflation's killing us. You couldn't even afford to write a check for $1.99.
Man, does it look like I have a wife, man? The toilet seat was off.
What the fuck is this? Clearly, you're not a golfer holding a bowling ball.
That's right. And at least I'm housebroken, man.
I also like that not the dude, but the guy just drops the bowling ball and cracks his tile.
Yeah. Man, the dude just got shit on that whole movie for no reason.
And that's why we like it.
And you know what? That is the inciting incident. It's like 5 minutes in. It's like, boom, guy's pissing on his rug.
All right. Who do you think would like this movie? Everyone?
I mean, yeah, everyone, fans of the Coen Brothers. And you know what movie I was thinking of the entire time I was watching? I don't know if you've seen this. The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
Directed by Shane Black.
Yeah. The whole time watching this movie, I was like, this is like where the Nice Guys got it from. Like, the whole thing felt like the Nice Guys to me as we were watching it.
You know what's I never thought of that, but I would say now, like looking at it in my head, the Nice Guys kind of does feel like a not as good version of the Big Lebowski.
I disagree. I love the Nice Guys.
See, I liked it, but parts of it felt super like, all right, I get it, like over the top done in a way.
I mean, there was definitely
Like
some weird
overly
edits,
cheesy, I feel like.
but I think that's kind of the point.
I guess, yeah, it's 70s buddy crime investigation movie, but
The two best parts of that movie are at the beginning when he punches the glass. Even though he's got his hand wrapped up, he punches the glass and he still like cuts his hand up.
I don't remember that part.
He like wraps it up in a rag. He punches the glass. And it's just like gushing blood, and it's like totally
I
fucking
vaguely
failed.
remember that now. Okay.
And then he has that dream where Russell Crowe shows him like an ankle gun, and then later he like dives to his leg to like, "Where's your fucking ankle gun?" I don't have a fucking ankle gun.
Did I dream that? Yeah, you did.
Fuck.
By the way, did you know that the bumblebee in the back of the seat of the car is Hannibal Buress?
I do now.
Yeah, Hannibal Buress voiced the bumblebee in The Nice Guys for some reason.
The more you know.
I was sitting in the theaters and almost shit my pants. I was like, what the fuck?
But yeah, so Nice Guys feels a lot like The Big Lebowski to me. Or rather, since I saw The Big Lebowski second, The Big Lebowski feels a lot like The Nice Guys to me. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, obviously, very different films. Like, they are not... That's just... some of the touches to it felt similar.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, like all the subtle references to the smog in California is kind of like to the the war in the Middle East and stuff like that. Not the war in Iraq yet.
No, that was the war in Iraq?
No, that didn't happen until after 9/11.
Desert Storm?
It's like Kuwait and Desert Storm, yeah.
Yeah, Desert Storm was in Iraq. Kuwait
But
is
no one calls
Kuwait...
that the war in Iraq.
No, but it's a war in Iraq.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a war in Iraq. Maybe it's not the war in Iraq, but it's one of them.
It's the, not the.
What the fuck, yo? Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
All right, I deserve that. But yeah, like some of the subtle, like, yeah, I can see it more now. Actually, that's kind of funny.
That was like
Also
the whole
with
time.
the porn tropes throughout the movie.
Yeah, that too. Like that was like I think the biggest one for me. It was just like they talk to a porn producer and all of that shit and all of it. And
in this one, they find a dead porn producer. Goes after Ryan Gosling, goes rolling down
sorry,
the
we're
hill.
talking about Nice Guys.
Yeah, sorry.
And he does his little Three Stooges imitation. Like in in the old Three Stooges when they'd see something scary.
Yeah. See, it was parts like that where I'm like, all right, come on.
Oh, see, I loved that. That's actually the first time I saw The Nice Guys. I had to go to the bathroom at that point, and I missed it.
Did you see it twice in theaters, or did you just
I
watch
think I
it
saw
when
it twice.
came out?
I think I saw it twice in theaters.
Really? You liked it that much?
I really liked The Nice Guys. I didn't necessarily think they were going to have chemistry, but man, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe work so well together.
No, see, yeah, I like the way they interacted with each other. It was just some of the Ryan Gosling parts I didn't like, and then some parts with his daughter I didn't like.
Yeah, see, I like the whole thing. The whole thing. Top to bottom.
Yeah. Without talking too much about that, though, let's stay back on Big Lebowski.
Maybe next week we'll do The Nice Guys. Nah, shit, you've seen it already. We can't do that.
We both saw it in theaters, so I don't think that one constitutes late to the show podcast.
Did you see Pokemon in theaters?
Ooh. No, I don't think so.
Okay. I was trying to remember. I just edited that one, so I was trying to remember if we mentioned.
on right now.
Well, no, I was just trying to remember if we both saw that one in theaters. But anyways, irrelevant. Big Lebowski.
Right. So we were talking about who the movie would play to, and that's when we kind of got onto The Nice Guys. So people who would be fans maybe of that movie would like The Big Lebowski.
Alternatively, if you like The Big Lebowski, check out Nice Guys.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about just like the type of person who would like this movie, like maybe someone who fucking gets too angry at most things, maybe you should take a lesson from the dude, because they've actually created a religion based on this movie called Deuteronomy, which is a ripoff of Deuteronomy
from the Bible.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I think I stumbled when I said Deuteronomy.
You did.
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
That's really hard to say. Is it Mominy? Omni? Onomy?
I'm
I think
looking
it's
it up.
Onomy. Deuteronomy? But it's D-E-U-T.
You're right. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy.
The power of Google, friends.
Dude. Yeah, I'm fucking winging it here.
Deuteronomy. Anyway, there was a religion based off the dude called Deuteronomy. They've published books and stuff. It's basically just how to live a chill life. It's very similar to the Buddhist religion.
Big Lebowski.
I don't know if it's a recognized national religion, but people have made this up.
Big Lebowski religion. Dudism. Nice try there.
Well, okay, there's a book in Dudism called Deuteronomy.
There
I know
you
that
go.
for sure.
So the religion is called Dudism.
My bad.
Is, according to what looks like Wikipedia, Dudism is a religion, philosophy, or lifestyle inspired by the dude, the protagonist of the Coen Brothers' 1998 film The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, mostly it's basically a book about Buddhism, but they use references to bowling, White Russians, and fuck it throughout the book.
If you're interested, you can learn more at dudism.com.
Not .org, not .gov.
Nope.
Oh,
Dudists
that's
of
shocking.
the world unite, and their cover image is the Vitruvian Man of the Dude, holding a White Russian, a peace sign, a bowling ball, and what looks like fucking half and half to me. Cream.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Realized I was leaning away from the mic a little bit.
Important thing to discuss now that I'm thinking about it. What's the difference between a Caucasian and a White Russian?
I figured that was just what he called it that time. But while I'm on the internet,
Yeah, I mean, look. I thought all Russians were white.
Caucasian versus White Russian.
Do, do, do.
Okay, so the difference is basically what you use for your creamer. Caucasian uses half and half, and a White Russian uses regular cream.
Oh, so
So-
we had Caucasians.
Technically, we had Caucasians, but
And I had fucking milk toast because I also cut my half and half with milk.
yeah, and basically they're the same thing. It's like the people who make a difference between using regular tomato juice and V8 when you make a Bloody Mary.
What's the other name?
I don't remember what the other name is, and it's Bloody Marys just use tomato juice. If you use the V8, it's called something else. I don't remember what it was. Well, fuck it. Let me get the internet back out.
This is just for the people who are here for booze recipes.
Yes.
In case you didn't want to go to How to Drink or a Tipsy Bartender, you come to Late to the Show podcast for all your booze.
That is called. No, it's got I'm positive I've seen it had a specific name. How do you drink a Bloody Mary with celery is what people also ask when searching for Bloody Mary V8 juice.
You eat the celery and then drink your fucking Bloody Mary.
Name. Helps if I spell name correctly. I can't fucking find it, but I know there's a difference. There's a different name. There's not an actual difference.
All right.
We skipped completely over social relevance, I'd like to point out.
Well, no, that's when I was talking about the time it came out in.
Yeah, I guess, but you use that over quality. Anyways, doesn't matter. Fuck it. Moving on.
Nice use of fuck it, by the way.
I don't care.
All right. So, okay. Since you've just seen the movie, you know, and I'm assuming, what? Okay, so you saw it 2019. It's been out for 21 years at that point.
Try again. No, yeah, 21.
98 to fucking 2019.
So you did not see it in its 25-year anniversary.
Yeah. What the fuck was I thinking? 15?
Maybe.
All right, whatever.
Maybe 20. You saw it last year in theaters, so maybe it was its 20-year
That was
anniversary.
the first time I saw it.
No, oh, wait, you saw it for the first time on that anniversary? Maybe it was 15. I don't fucking know. Anyways,
No, I saw it for the first time on TV.
Yeah.
And then I just went back to the theaters to watch it because I was
For
like,
the
this would be
20-year
cool to
anniversary.
see on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be 20 years years. Math. Anyways.
Working on way less sleep than normal. I've been getting up at 5 every morning because of work.
Since you haven't seen it until now, would you say this movie lives up to the hype?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's almost like the rare case where I don't think it's possible to talk up The Big Lebowski too much. Because for the most part, I think if anybody's going to talk to you about The Big Lebowski, they might not even actually explain what it's about, because you really kind of can't in any succinct sort of way, because where it starts has nothing to do with where it ends. You're probably just going to hear a bunch of the quotes and just about how good the movie is.
Right.
So you'll go into it not knowing what it's about or anything. You'll know a couple of the quotes, and then you'll watch the movie. And probably be very, very entertained. Like, it's a incredibly good movie.
Right. So say if people were bombarding you to watch this movie, like, oh, you haven't seen Big Lebowski? You have to see Big Lebowski, which people may have done to you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I may have done it to you.
Several
you say
people
it
have.
still lives up to that.
Oh,
hype.
absolutely.
The level of people saying, you've got to watch this movie.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where, if somebody's like constantly on you about you need to watch this movie, this one lives up to it. Definitely.
Okay.
Exceeds, maybe not, but definitely lives up to.
See, when I saw it, I had no idea how big it was. Like I said, I only knew about it because Conan brought it up to Jeff Bridges in an interview.
Yeah.
Like, after I had seen it, though, I had noticed all of a sudden that there was a ton of references to it and other stuff I had seen. Like, the scene where he's flying through the sky after he gets his carpet taken.
Yeah.
The dream sequence.
Where he falls when
Yes.
he gets the bowling ball.
I noticed that they did that in How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
When Marshall is trying to convince people that sleeping in a nightgown is the way to do it.
Okay.
And then they just cut to him in his nightgown, like flying through the air, because that's how good it made him feel.
Yeah.
They didn't do the bowling ball part, but so there was subtle shit like that, different references to it, but yeah, I mean, so it didn't really have much hype for me at that point, because when I saw it in early high school, so I don't know how many other high school kids had seen The Big Lebowski. There were even parts of the movie I didn't get at that point.
Yeah.
So
like what?
I can't remember now. I've seen it so many times, but
Well, why not?
okay, so like some of the Saddam Hussein stuff, especially the relevance of it being in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, just certain things like that. Yeah, I mean, subtle things, but then when you go back and watch it, you can be like, oh, I understand what he meant by this. Even just certain callbacks where my brain wasn't smart enough to fucking pick up on that shit.
Gotcha.
So I would say this movie, it didn't have much hype for me to begin with, but I liked it so much that it kind of built up its own hype for me in my head where I wanted to get other people to watch it so I could talk about it with them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's...
Because no one was really talking about it to me. I just heard about it in an interview. So after I had seen it, I was like, I want my friends to watch this so I can talk about it with them.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies.
Oh, absolutely. And the advantage on my end is, by this point, fucking everybody I know's seen it, basically. Fucking Nick has seen this movie. Granted, he had to watch a bunch of Coen Brothers movies for a class, so...
He did?
I believe so. He watched several Coen Brothers movies for a class.
What class?
I don't fucking remember.
May have been film history at RBC, or was this when he's doing criminal justice shit?
No, it was at Rock Valley.
I was like, I mean, with Fargo and I guess Big Lebowski, but
Yeah, no, it wasn't for that. But fucking no, I mean everybody's seen it by now, so I've got the advantage of now I've finally seen it, so now I'm part of the group too.
yeah, you were late to the show, but now you're here. So
I've arrived.
you got your tardy, but you're here.
I would just also really quickly like to mention how much Philip Seymour Hoffman looked like fucking Matt Damon in this movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like every scene he was in, I'm like, it's a slightly fatter, blonde Matt Damon. His mannerisms, his goddamn face, all of him looks like Matt Damon.
What'd you think about Philip Seymour Hoffman's?
He was great.
Performance.
It was. I haven't seen a whole lot of Philip Seymour Hoffman stuff that he's done, but yeah, I mean, it was a funny character. Definitely like that weirdly neurotic
Yes.
guy
If you
Because
watch,
neither Lebowski gave a shit about his neuroses.
if you watch it a second time, when he brings in the dude to talk to the Big Lebowski, because the Big Lebowski got the ransom note, quote unquote ransom note, and you see how overly dramatic he is by like escorting the dude in and like throwing up the big arm and being very cryptic when he talks. You see that's like a performance thing where he's like trying to sell this idea that she was really
Kidnapped.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I really like that part of the movie. Like, as far as his character, he like does a good job of like overperforming his overperformance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, he cranks up, he goes from 11 and cranks that up to 22.
Right. I mean, both of them do. Him and the actual Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the whole speech, like, the dude's lighting up a joint. He's like, you mind if I spark a J? That's a bummer, man.
What does Walter call him? He's like, I've seen a lot of...
Oh, gold brickers?
Yeah,
spinals.
Is that what he calls them?
I've seen a lot of spinals in my day, dude. This guy's a fucking faker.
Yeah. I'm going to pick him up and let him go, and he's going to fucking stand there.
This dude walks. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Interesting note from my time learning about sound for film.
Yes.
What they used to make the sound of his back cracking when they picked him up out of the chair was they took a celery stalk and snapped it in half.
Interesting.
They use that for most breaking bones.
It provides a decent noise.
Then they drops him on the floor and the dog starts licking his face. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. This dude fucking walks. That was really funny for me because I saw an episode of Law and Order SVU, maybe 10 years before that, where they realized this girl who's pretending to be crippled can walk, and her husband takes her and pushes her into a pool in her wheelchair, and she swims to the side and gets out. So part of me was expecting for that to happen, and then he actually is crippled.
Yeah. Walter was wrong.
Ooh, how about the line when he's talking about how he can't walk? He says, "Some Chinaman in Korea took my legs from me."
Yeah.
See, stuff like that, it's like, wow, someone wrote that specifically.
Yeah.
Genius.
I mean, it's like I think it was American Dad joke, where Stan's got like a Japanese baby, and I haven't seen the episode Nick's
It
quoted
is
to. He's
Chinese,
like,
but most specifically Japanese.
Like, is that a Chinese baby? It is Japanese, to be specific.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's the same type of line. But no, the movie's hysterical too. Like,
Right.
I don't even think we touched on the comedy of the movie, and I think that's kind of one of the most, integral parts of the movie more than anything else is the comedy. Is like
The outright comedy gets you the first time, and then the more times you watch it, you start thinking the subtle things they do are super hilarious.
like
The really intricate things. Like,
yeah.
okay, so the fact that the dude is like this super like liberal, like take it as it goes kind of guy.
Yeah.
But then he also has a picture of Nixon on his wall bowling.
Yeah.
So it's like his world's kind of clashing, like bowling, but Republican Nixon is the bowler. Just subtle stuff like that. It's funny,
Yeah.
And you like pick it up more as you watch it.
Yeah. Because
Especially from like the side characters.
Yeah, because I remember thinking it was really weird that he had a picture of Nixon, but then I was just like, whatever.
I really want that poster, actually. I would love to have that picture.
But just like the other bowlers, like that they encounter a couple times, like, fucking Sparky or whatever the fuck. What was the first guy's name?
Oh,
who stepped over the line?
Smokey.
Smokey. Man, he's really delicate, man.
He's a pacifist, man. Oh. I tried pacifist once. Not Nam, of course. Yeah, and then obviously John Turturro, who's in pretty much every Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Nobody fuck with the Jesus.
Fucking pedophile, man.
You try and pull a piece on me, I will just take it from you, shove it up your ass, and pull the trigger until it goes click. Jesus. You said it, man. Yeah.
That dude's a pervert. No, he really is. He's a...
Pederast.
What's a pederast? Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
8-year-olds, dude.
He'd go door to door when he moved.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more you can really say about the movie without just go fucking watching it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we could sit here and quote the movie until the cows come home, but yeah, it's such a weird fucking movie, and it's so goddamn good, and I really wish I had seen it by this point, but I just hadn't.
Well, you're only 27. You got plenty more years to tell other people about it.
That's very true. And I'm gonna make you watch Fargo for this one day, because holy shit, is Fargo good?
I seen like the first 30 minutes of it, and then I fell asleep just because I watched it at like 3 a.m. So
Yeah, that'll do it.
but yeah, all right. So that was our podcast for the Big Lebowski. I mean, we've hit an hour.
Wow, it does not feel like we've talked for an hour. I was worried this was going to be a real short one, actually. So that's actually pretty good. That's good.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we watching next week?
Ooh.
Or for it'll be next week when these go up.
Right. So this was a boozy episode. We could do another boozy episode, or do you want to space those out?
I don't care. I mean, I had one White Russian, so I'm all right. So, excuse me.
I made a double White Russian, so.
Yeah, and
Let's see.
if you're interested, the way I like to do a White Russian is 1 ounce vodka, 1 ounce Kahlua, 1 ounce cream.
And that's a shot of each.
Yes. For you children out there who said they want to drink, don't drink, kids.
Okay. We never did Rocky. We said we were going to do
We
Rocky.
keep saying we're gonna do Rocky. We'll fucking get around to Rocky.
Okay. Well, we can delete fucking the Big Lebowski.
Yes. Shit, we've got Shape of Water on there.
Oh, have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really. I guess I'm late to it.
Have you seen it?
No.
We'll add Fargo to that list.
Okay. There's the Barney movie. Digimon the movie, Zootopia, Watchmen, Food Inc.
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Yeah. The Room, Almost Heroes, Chris Farley's last movie.
Yes. Shit, man, I don't know. What sounds good? Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street? Why is that on there?
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it the day it came out, which was Christmas Eve.
Did we just want to talk about that? Because I'm okay to talk about. I don't really want to watch that right now. It's a long fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm going to delete it because neither of us were late to the show on that one.
Shit, and you've seen Django too, because I've been playing a lot of Red Dead right now, and I've been really jonesing to watch Django. But no, we don't need to watch Django.
You know what? Do you want to go for an old movie?
Like how old?
Like 60s.
What are you thinking?
Okay, we could see, I'm trying to think of one I haven't seen. I haven't seen Ben-Hur. That's one that's sticking out to me.
Holy shit. That's a long fucking movie.
Is it long?
I'm positive it's like 3 hours.
Fuck.
I'm a look.
We could see the fucking one where John Wayne pretends to be Attila
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan, thank you.
The
Attila
Conqueror.
the Hun.
Sorry, Ben-Hur is not 3 hours long. My mistake. It's 3.5.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Okay. We could fucking watch Planet of the Apes. Have you seen that one?
The OG Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
I have not, actually.
You really haven't seen the OG Planet of the Apes?
I have not.
Oh, my God.
With Charlton Dickhead Heston on it.
Why you call him Dickhead Heston?
Yeah, I'll just shit with the NRA, but that's a whole other story.
Is he still alive?
No, he's very dead now. Also, he was like homophobic and shit like that. He just wasn't a good person.
Well, I mean, he was what, 40 in the 60s? So, can you blame him?
I'll tell you real quick how old he was in the 60s. Wow, good call. He was born in 1923.
Got him.
All right. I don't know. Neither of those are appealing to me right now, watching Ben-Hur or Planet of the Apes.
I'm going to add Planet of the Apes to the list.
Do add Planet of the Apes, because I haven't.
Because that'd be a good one.
You know what? You know what Charlton Heston movie I have seen?
What?
Omega Man.
Omega Man?
Yeah, Omega Man. It's based on the book, a little book you might have heard of called I Am Legend.
Oh.
And it's a more faithful adaptation of the book, if I'm not mistaken, than the Will Smith version. I mean, you haven't seen Citizen Kane, but I do not want to watch fucking Citizen Kane.
To be honest, I don't want to watch it either. What was...
Not anytime soon, anyways.
Shit. Oh, we could watch the original Tron.
I have seen it. You haven't.
Yeah, this would be one of the few movies that goes in that order.
Yeah. It's been a long-ass time since I've seen Tron, though. I remember basically nothing of it other than the bikes.
That's fine.
And Jeff Bridges is in it.
The only thing I know about Tron is what's in Kingdom Hearts. And then the subtle references to it in Tron Legacy.
I was going to say, so it's probably mostly just Tron Legacy, the stuff in Kingdom Hearts.
No, it's not.
Interesting.
Well, in Kingdom Hearts 2, they do the first Tron. And then in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which came out for the 3DS,
Yes.
3Ds, they do Tron Legacy in that one.
Interesting. Did not know that.
But Jeff Bridges isn't referenced at all in the Kingdom Hearts 2 Tron.
Which is weird because he's the main character in the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's basically the main character in Tron Legacy also.
Also, after watching The Big Lebowski, I realized I've only seen 3 movies with Jeff Bridges in it.
Really?
I've seen Tron, I've seen The Big Lebowski, and I saw Bad Times at the El Royale.
That's a good movie.
That was a really good movie. It's a long fucking movie, though. It's such a slow burn.
Well, at the end, it feels long. I felt suspense through the whole thing, and then towards the end, I was like, all right, Thor, wrap it up.
See, I was totally the opposite. I was like waiting for something to fucking happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I liked like I just said, I didn't think it was slow, but the slow build.
Shit. I saw Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and he was in that. He was the leader of the American branch.
Champagne, champ.
Yeah. I don't really count that as... Yeah, he's in it, but it's not why I'm there.
Would you be interested in doing Tron next week? I'm kind of interested now.
Yeah, I don't know where we'd find it, but yeah, we could do Tron next week. I'm game to do that.
We'll look for it, and if we don't find it, we'll surprise you with something else next week.
We're talking about Tron now, but I mean, if you go all the way back to our Halloween episode that was originally supposed to be fucking Dirty Harry, then we switched to Mad Max, and then we did Halloween instead. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
You know what? No Tron. Next week, we're doing Monty Python. How about that?
Okay.
Holy Grail.
Yeah, perfect idea. Yeah, let's do that one. That's one from like the 60s or some shit. So, Jake, where can the people find you before you try and turn the recording off without letting them know this time, as you did last week for Clerks?
All right. Roasted.
Yeah, I'm going to fuck 3 under the bus.
I'm at Jocko_Linguini, JAKO_LINGUINI.
I like sometimes you tell them how to spell it, and sometimes you're like, if you can't spell it, go fuck yourself.
Because I've done a few episodes now.
That's true.
But they're new listeners every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, for all the episodes that we haven't released yet.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, the amount of listeners we've got number in the zeros so far. Who knows? By the time we actually get this one, we might actually have some numbers. But at the time of recording, we haven't put a single episode out.
This is what, our 7th episode, I think, that we're recording?
9th?
No.
We talked about this last week when we did Clerks.
We just split up the episodes, though. You did 3, I'm doing 3. And then I have the bonus episode for Mortal Kombat.
And Halloween was already edited.
Okay, so 8. This is the 9th episode.
This is the
technically.
9th. Yeah, so this is 9th technically.
Fuck me sideways.
Anyways, I'm at Rosendoom2 on Twitter. You can follow the show on Twitter at LTTS Podcast, at LTTS Podcast. Or you can follow it on Instagram at Late to the Podcast. That again is Late to the Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, and if you have movie suggestions, it's latetothepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, please email them. And,
or if you want to tell us how great we are.
Or if you want to send,
nudes.
Yeah. No, don't do that. We're not soliciting nudes on this show.
But, I mean...
Here, I'll give you guys Jake's Instagram or Snapchat. He'll take them direct.
Snapchat, yeah. Thanks. If you do, I'm gonna post them to Twitter, which allows nudity. All right. So,
anyways,
that's the Big Lebowski for this week's episode. Particularly long episode that we stayed pretty well on topic for.
We did stay on topic. Not as many jokes this week. I noticed this was a little bit more actual technicalities, but So, thanks for listening and. Jake, I'll let you sign off as you always do.
Don't be late.
Don't be late.